I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Network. Well, let's talk about Pennsylvania. Anytime I get the opportunity to speak on Lurch at any point, I'm going to try to take that opportunity. I am. And as you guys know, there's some panic going on in the Democratic Party. There really is right now over, well, how is this election going to turn out? Because let's be real. With every indictment, Trump continues, his strength continues to grow. And I think it's hilarious. I mean, Biden is starting to hemorrhage the black vote, okay? Now, the other thing that Democrats are concerned with is hemorrhaging battleground states, of which Pennsylvania is one. Now, I think we already are suspicious. We're giving the one ass eye that over to Pennsylvania after what happened in 2020. I know I don't trust a lot. I can say that. But, and then, of course, the voters there voted in John Fetterman, a guy that obviously is not really mentally capable of holding that position of senator. Absolutely not. We know he was in a hospital for how long? Of which his wife decided to run off to Canada while he was in hospital and left Lurch laying in a bed having a mental breakdown. Bad look. It's a terrible look. And evidently the state's politics, much like the national politics, the state's politics of the Democratic Party is a disaster. It's it's literally, look, the title of this article, look at it. That's a quote, folks. It's a effing disaster is the quote. Democrats reportedly in panic mode over chaos of Pennsylvania Democratic Party. The inmates are running the asylum, and the inmates are stabbing each other in the foreheads with forks right now. I mean, evidently the whole Democratic Party needs a straitjacket, not just the senator. And it's got Biden, old man Biden, who's on day 382 of vacation. By the way, do you guys remember how much the mainstream media hammered Trump over vacations? Biden is on, he just passed any of the recent presidents on vacation days. It's getting almost no mainstream media coverage at all. Isn't that funny? I mean, that tells you right there how much full of shit the media is. Mainstream media. That they're not even bringing that up. He's past Trump. Remember all the pissing and moaning fest that all the mainstream media was having over Trump playing golf? And I just saw a picture of a pasty white old Biden laying out on a beach somewhere. I mean, he's so white, he reflected the sun back at the sun, and the sun said, damn, you're blinding, you old shit. Let's take a look at this, folks. Pennsylvania is critically important for Democrats. In 2020, the Commonwealth helped propel Joe Biden to the White House. And in 2022, now Senator John Fetterman won a hotly contested Senate race, giving Democrats control of the Senate. To win in 2024, the Democrats will need Pennsylvania again. But the state party currently finds itself in a state of total chaos, according to a new report. Politico reported on Friday the Pennsylvania Democratic Party is, quote, reeling from financial problems and a lack of trust across the party. I told you right there, the inmates are stabbing each other in the forehead with forks. I mean, the inmates should all have straitjackets on. They shouldn't be able to stab anybody, but you get the point. There's what we like to refer to as, quote, infighting. Those financial problems include layoffs, and the trust issues are centered on whether party chairman Sharif Street, a member of the state Senate, is the right man for the job. Wait a minute. So it's not even Fetterman that's a problem? There's somebody worse than him? Is that what's happening? The party chairperson that's representing the party up there, they're concerned about that. Listen to this, folks. This is current or former Democratic officials up there in Pennsylvania. A former party staffer, quote, "It's a effing disaster." This is my favorite. A party committee member, quote, "It's amateur hour." Let me say it ain't so. You elected in a senator that had a bad stroke, is mentally incapable of doing the job. Most of the time, he hasn't even been there for the job, and you're surprised that the state is a wreck? Okay. I mean, am I the one taking crazy pills? Because nobody could see that coming? Nobody could forecast that? Really? The worst weatherman on the planet, which is like half of them, could have seen that coming. I mean, that's the least surprising news in the history of surprising news. Pennsylvania is a Democratic dumpster fire. John Fetterman. Film at 11. A top state Democratic elected official, quote, "Pennsylvania is the single biggest battleground state in the country in the presidential election, and we have a total incompetent, lazy guy who has no clue what he's doing running the state party." Democratic consultant Mike Mickus. "It's concerning." These are all quotes, folks. "It's concerning that the state party is laying people off as we're heading into a really important Supreme Court race, which then leads into the presidential year. They're going to have to figure out a path forward to build their own fundraising operation, and it sounds like there's a lot of the building to be done right now." Additionally, Politico reported that the officials, quote, "at highest levels of the Democratic Party, including Biden administration officials, have also expressed concern about their Keystone State colleagues." Street acknowledged that some Democrats in the National Party are not happy with how he's running the Pennsylvania party. But he said recent victories, Fetterman's win, in addition to winning 2020 gubernatorial race and flipping the state house last year, softened any pressure from critics. Quote, "We've done things a little differently, and I know that we may have ruffled some feathers with sort of the national chatterbox class," he told Politico. "They weren't exactly excited about my candidacy for the chair for a lot of reasons. Politics is like sports. We had a good record last year. We've been winning. It's true. Victories speak volumes, but if the problems are as bad as Politico reported, then Street has a difficult road ahead of him. Not only will Pennsylvania prove critical to whomever wins the 2024 presidential election, but Senator Bob Casey, Democrat, is running for re-election, and Democrats cannot afford to lose his seat. Meanwhile, there is a significant election forthcoming for the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, in which abortion is expected to be a key issue. It's going to be a big issue everywhere, I think. I do believe. So Pennsylvania's a nightmare. Is anybody that's going to watch this video surprised by that? Because I'm not. I'm not. We talked about that prior to the midterms ever happening, that if Fetterman gets in, it's going to be a nightmare. And here we are in the middle of said Elm Street Freddy Krueger filming. It's a nightmare. It's crazy. It's absolutely bananas. And yeah, I'm sure Biden's worried. Biden's in a lot of trouble here. He's in a lot of trouble for a lot of different reasons. One of the reasons is because a lot of Democrats don't want him to run. They don't want him to run. They want somebody else to run. Can you imagine? One of the Fetterman videos I did There was a snippet in one of the articles I can remember where a mainstream media member, it might have been the Today Show or somebody like that, or heaven, it may have been The View. Somebody on The View, somebody on the Today Show, one of those retards uttered the words about John Fetterman that maybe he could be a presidential candidate. What? Holy shit. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's as crazy as whatever's going on in Pennsylvania. Biden has got to have Pennsylvania. And there's got to be a certain amount of panic that's happening because they can't seem to take down Trump. With every indictment, his popularity grows. And it's growing among all kinds of voters, including black voters. This is going to be very interesting going forward. And I can tell you right now, one of the things that was trending today was write him in. The quote, write him in. And what that means is if the Republican Party, the GOP party, the establishment rhino GOPs, try to screw Trump out of the Republican presidential nomination. And I think the thought process there is they might try to do that using the indictments as an excuse. We're all just going to write Trump in when we go to vote. We'll write him into the ballot. Hey, that's not going to stop anybody. In fact, if they go down that road, it is going to piss off so many potential voters who are already rubbed raw by normal politicians. Man, it's going to start a fire like you wouldn't believe. Could split the vote, which in my opinion will automatically put Trump in. If RFK decides to run as an independent, it's going to put Trump in the White House. All of this is looking very badly, and their candidate is still Biden. Nobody knows, is the DNC going to, because the theory is a lot of people don't want Biden to run, but the DNC wants him to run in the same way they wanted Hillary to run when they screwed Bernie Sanders. And a lot of Democrats want to see RFK run. They want to see Gavin Newsom run. You get the point. Crazy. Crazy indeed. Wow. Pennsylvania politics being a train wreck. I'm so shocked. I really am. My God, you mean to tell me John Fetterman couldn't get things together? You mean to tell me he didn't come in there and immediately take charge? Oh, no. He had to check himself into a hospital. I feel bad for him because I've said before that I believe part of that was his wife's egging on, pushing him forward to try to do it. He had been a mayor. He's not capable of being even the mayor of Mayberry after that stroke. You know, it's just not. It is what it is. And it's almost the same kind of thing they did with Biden. Biden was already suffering onset dementia before the election, during the campaign. Remember, they hit him. No debate. Just put him everywhere where people couldn't get to him. You know, having rallies with 12 people there. Scripted interviews, all that. Same kind of stuff we've continued to see. That, and they don't have all the COVID stuff to try to cover up this time. The shortcomings, the shenanigans. Tell me what you think. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you hit subscribe. Let me know, would you trust John Fetterman with a potato gun? I, for one, would not. I would not. No. Can you imagine the battleground state for the Democrats? I didn't even think about this, but Fetterman getting in might somehow screw Biden out of the election in 2024. Interesting. Total backfire coming possibly for the Democrats. I love it. It's a dumpster fire rolling downhill on a tire fire. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.